Okay, welcome fellas. So this is Pycoders Academy Python focus with me Faisal from Pycoders Academy, and I hope like you are loving this course and you are practicing on your own. So if you like this videos, just subscribe to my channel, like this video and share it with your friends. Okay, so in our previous video we're looking at the for loops, and we said the for loops is just the first loop of the types of loops we have in Python, and we said we have three loops in Python. We have the for loop, we have the while loop, and we have the nested loops. And we said the for loops are just used to loop over iterable list or iterable data types in Python. And the while loops, as what that's our main course we'll be talking in this video, and we move on to the nested loops in this video. So we have two topics we will treat in this video. We have the while loop and the nested loop all in this video. Okay, so sit tight and watch this video. Okay, so let's start. So while loop, as I said earlier in the introduction to loops, is used to loop code when a certain condition is met. So when a condition is met, then we use the while loop to run our code. So it will keep running until like our condition is false. Okay, so let's look at the syntax. So just do while, so that's the keyword, then our statement will come. So let's say I have something like x equals 3 here, then I will say, so I want to have a condition from this assignment. I will just do x equals 3. So we are checking if x equals 3. So if it is, which is the condition is met. So whilst the condition is met, then we just do print yes. That's what we are just saying here. So whilst condition is met, print yes. So like the condition is met, so it will keep printing yes until we break it from the loop. Okay, so simple. So whilst the condition is met, our code will keep on running until we break it or break from the loop. Okay, so this brings us to the next topic in this video, so which is the break function here. So we just do, to break it or to stop it from printing this yes, we just do break here. Okay, so now we just run this code. Okay, so you can see it's printing only one year. So after the years has been printed, then it breaks. So when you want to break from your loop, you just use the break statement as we use in the for loops. Okay, so simple. Now what if you don't want to use the break or you want to continue? You just use the continue statement to continue. So I will just do continue here, continue. Okay, so let me clean this. Okay, so now let's run this code. So you can see it's repeating, it's continuing, so the code is still running. So when you use the break statement, it breaks from the loop, and the continue is the vice versa of the break statement or break function. So simple. So we are done with two topics. We have done with the break function and the continue function. Okay, so today we move to the else block. So in the for loops, we said the else block is used to run codes when the for loop has finished. So when the for loops finish executing, then the else block or the code in the else block will run. But in while loops, when the condition is not met, that is when the else will run. So let's say I have something like break, then I will say x equals 4. So we are checking if x equals 4, which is a false statement as applying to this x equals 3 here. So we just bring an else here. So else, then I will say print false here, false, or yeah, false. So let's run this code. So you can see false here because x is not equal to 4. So when the condition is not met, the else block will run. In that, so the for loop is the else block in the for loop is used when the for loop has finished running or executed, then the else block will run. But in while loops, when the condition is not met or when the condition is false, that is where the else block will run. So simple. So I think we understand the else conditional block here. So we just go to the inline. Okay, so we will ignore it for like later talks, the inline. Wow. Okay, so we just move on to the next nested loops. So nested loops. Okay, so simple. So we are done with the while loop. Now we move on to the nested loop. So we know nested loops are just a loop inside a loop. So we are just saying we are using a loop inside it. So we can have a while loop. So while loop inside a while loop, or we can have a for loop inside a while loop, or we can have many for loops inside a single while loop, or we can have many for loops and while loops inside a single while loop. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so we just do, so let me say I have something like a list here. So list, then I will say, let me say list, and I will say it contains numbers 2, 4, 3, 6, 7 and 9. Okay, so I have something like this. So then I'll just check, I will say while true. So when the condition is met, so any condition, so while true, we just do print if for, so for number in list, then I will say if number is a modulus of 2. So let's say modulus of 2 equals 0. So if it's divisible by 2, then we just do, let me create another list here. So list 1, and I'll say it's empty. Then I'll create another list here, and I'll say it's also empty. So list 2 is also empty. Okay, so simple. Now we just append it to the list here. So list 1 dot append. So this will contain our even numbers. So sorry, number. Okay, now we move on to the else. So else, and I will say list 2 dot append, then I will say number. Okay, so when it's odd, then it will append it to the list 2, and when it's even, then it will append it to the list 1. Then I'll bring a else statement for the for loop. So else, then I'll say for loop has finished. So when the for loop finish executing, then this code will run. So for loop has finished successfully. So finished successfully. Okay, so I'm done. So now let's run this code and see. So we can use the else while loop, or the else block in this while loop, because this just a boolean statement, or just a boolean output. So we are saying while true is a boolean type, but when we have a condition, that is where we can use the else block, because we can check if the condition is not met, then the else block will run. So let's say I have something like x equals 3 here. That is where I can use the else block. So this is true, so just true. Okay, so now let's run this code and see. So let me print this list here out. So I will just do print list 1, then I'll print list 2 also here, print list 2. Okay, so let me break from this loop when the for loop finish running. Okay, so something like this. So let me run this code and see. Okay, so for loop has finished successfully. So this is the place where the for loop has finished running, and it's bringing us the even. So it came to this one and it's running this one. So the even numbers is what is in the list 1, and that is, and the second list, which is the list 2, is the list containing the odd numbers. So simple. So when you use the else in the for loop, we are just saying when the for loop has finished executing, then you just print the code inside the else block, or you just run the code inside the else block. But when it is in the while loop, then Okay, so let you appreciate this. So x equals 3 here. So while x equals 3, so x equals 3 here. So let me bring the else here. So else print okay, while loop finished. Okay, oh no, while loop, okay, condition is false. Condition is false. So actually this won't print the else because this condition is true here. So let me run this code. So you can see for loop has finished, this is running, but let me change this to 4 and see what we should get here. Okay, so condition is false, then we have empty because this was by default empty. So that's how you can use those two else's in the for loop and the while loop. So when you have a true statement here, or just a boolean statement here, just a boolean type here, then we can't use the else. But when it is a condition, then we can use the else block. So simple. So I think you understand now, you appreciate loops. So we have treated for loops, we have treated while loops, and we did nested loops in this last chapter. Okay, so simple. So if you have any question, just hit it on the description in this video, or description section of this video, and like my video. Just share it to your friends, subscribe to this channel, and thank you for watching. Meet you in the next video.